and thank you for joining us today for another QuickBooks Online Tips and Tricks. My name is Michelle, and I have Pam with me today. Hello, Pam.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Wonderful.
Looking forward to doing this.
Wonderful. Well, I am super excited to have you here today. We are going to be discussing how to set up reoccurring transactions to save time and data entry steps by using QuickBooks Online's Reoccurring Transactions feature to schedule and enter monthly expenses with fixed amounts. This feature works great for checks, bills, invoices, credit memos, transfers, journal entries, and many more. Hopefully, this will make your life a little easier. That's why we're here, to help you to explain how these little tips and tricks will help make your life easier. So let's start and click on the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner. We will then click on Reoccurring Transactions. You'll see that it'll bring up a list of your already reoccurring transactions that you have entered. We're going to create a new one, so we'll click the New button. It's going to then ask you what type of transaction type. And for the moment, we're going to set up an expense. And then click OK. And now this is where you start entering the information for this particular expense. First, you're going to create a template name. And today we're just going to say, we'll call it heat bill. You can call this whatever name that you'd like. Sometimes I'll just name it the payee who I'm paying. So for today's purposes, we'll just, like I said, call it heat bill. Your type, you can either have it scheduled, it will automatically enter. You can do a reminder or unscheduled. For today, we're going to say reminder. You can then schedule it however many days in advance that this expense will hit your either bank or credit card. And I'm going to say 5 days before I'd like this a reminder. Then you'll click your payee. And our payee will be Chins Gas and Oil. You can also, if you don't have the vendor in QuickBooks yet, you can just click Add New and add the vendor directly from here. But we'll click this one. They're already in our vendor list. Next, you'll click on the account that the expense will be hitting or coming out of. So that could be your checking, that could be a credit card. Again, for today's purpose, we'll click checking. We're going to have this expense. It's a monthly expense, so we'll click monthly. We know that this will hit on the 1st of every month. And we're going to have it start on October 1st. And there is no end date because, unfortunately, we have to continue paying heat. That does not end. And then you can choose your payment method. If you prefer, we'll just say check. Category, this is where you will then identify which category you would like to code it to once the transaction hits your bank feed. And we're going to choose gas and electric. And just as a reminder, if you have a sub-account, I would choose the sub-account rather than the main account. So we're going to choose gas and electric. You may put in a description, and we'll just put heat bill for office. And we're going to say the amount is $200. And then at that point, if you'd like to add an additional memo, you may. If you want to add an attachment, maybe it's the agreement or it's the invoice, so you can add the attachment there. So as long as everything looks good and accurate, you're going to hit Save Template. You will then see that it is added to your reoccurring transactions. You can also, if you would like to print your reminder list, you can hit Run Report, and then that will print your list of all of your reminders, schedules, and all your recurring transactions. So one other item I'd like to show you before I turn it over to Pam. This particular, because I'm using a sample company. It doesn't show it here, but normally on your dashboard, when you have a reminder scheduled, it will show up usually right above this box. It'll show up there as a reminder link, and you can click on it, and then that will take you directly to all of your reminders that day or in the next few days. So that that shows you how to set up the recurring expense. Now, Pam, could you please show us how to set up other recurring transactions?
Yes, of course I will. You need to enable me.
I apologize for that.
That's fine.
There you go.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up recurring invoices to send to your customers. This would be done if you do a monthly service for them and it's the same amount and you don't have to create it every single month. So kind of like, puts, it's just a little bit easier to keep up with, invoicing your customers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to a customer. And we're going to go to Amy's Bird Sanctuary. And we've agreed with this customer that we're going to do some monthly landscaping with them. So we're going to set up the invoice. And as you can see, the email is here, so it can automatically be sent to their email if you want. You can send later if you wanted to mail it or review it before the email actually gets sent. So now we're going to set up the service that we're providing. It's going to be monthly gardening service. I'm going to type in the rate. Down here, you can type in a message on the invoice. And also here, you can type in a message that you want to appear on the statements. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down below and we are going to set up as a recurring invoice. And we are going to do it the first of every month. The contract says that we can send it. We're going to start on October 1st. And we're going to keep going until that contract ends. And then if you have a copy of the contract for that monthly service that you're providing, you can attach that contract right here. So now we're going to save the template. If you go over to recurring templates, transactions rather, I'm sorry, you'll see here it is, it's set up. And at any time, you can actually edit the invoice if need be, if you're raising the price or the service. And over here, you can skip a date if for whatever reason you didn't provide the service during a month, or you can delete once that service has ended. So now what we want to do, what I'm going to show you how to do, is to send out reminders to your folks that are late. So we're going to go to Invoices, and we're going to show all of our overdue invoices. And we want to send them a little reminder. You can do this in batch. You can go over here, send reminder. And a reminder has been sent to all your clients that, they're a little overdue and, maybe they forgot, and you just, bring it to their attention. So now the other thing I want to show you is how to set up messages within the reminders that get sent out and also within the emails, the recurring emails that get sent out to your customers, or any email, whether it be recurring or not. So what you need to do is go over here to the gear and go to Account and Settings. And you're going to click on Sales. And we're going to scroll down. And the first thing we're going to see is we're going to do set up messages to be set with our invoices. And here it is where you can edit this to reflect whatever you want to say. But for now, I'll leave it as, at the default. And then you can also have the invoice copied to you so you have a copy of it, or CC to anybody that you need to CC it to. And we're going to do it for invoices and other forms, and we're going to save. Next, I want to show you is how to set up messages for all your reminders. So first, what I have to do is you can also send out automatic invoice reminders. Over here, you can say how you want to do it, for every 3 days, or, you can kind of play with this. But for now, we're not going to send them out as automatic. What I want to do here is just to edit the message that gets sent out with these invoice reminders. So down here, you can put whatever message you want in here. For now, it's saying we're sending a reminder to let you know that invoice number has not yet been paid. You can change this however you want. And once you're happy with that, you can save, and that's what will show up with all of your reminders. And that pretty much wraps up my recurring invoices and all the reminders that you can do with them, sending out reminders and setting up messages that go out with all of these recurring invoices. And hopefully this will help you in streamlining your, what you do with your QuickBooks